Very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the sixth plenary session of our 15 days workshop here. Today's our main speaker will be Mr. Umvir Singh. So we'll start with the introduction. Mr. Umvir Singh retired as a scientist F from Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology, MeitY, Government of India, New Delhi. He was associated with the CERT since its inception in May 2003 and was in charge of Cyber Forensic Lab at Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. At CERT, Mr. Singh lead the activities related to cyber forensic investigation. He had singularly set up Cyber Forensics Lab at CERT for investigation of cyber crimes and cybersecurity incidents. He had undergone training on various domains of cybersecurity, computer forensics, advanced computer forensics, and smartphone forensics. He conducted various training workshops with hands-on practical session at CERT regularly for the LEAs on the cyber forensic investigation. He has been regular visiting faculty at the CBI Academy Ghaziabad, National Forensic Science University, and Center for Development of Advanced Research Computing, that is CDAC at Noida. He has been associated with various state police as a visiting faculty to speak during the awareness workshop on handling and investigation of cyber crimes and setting up the cyber forensics labs. He had played a key role in setting up the cyber forensics labs and training facilities on cyber forensic investigation in the northeastern states and Jammu and Kashmir. He had delivered more than 600 lectures on the various topics related to cybersecurity, cyber crimes, digital forensics during various training workshop conferences throughout the India. As in charge of cyber forensics lab at CERT, he handled more than 225 cases of cyber forensic investigation submitted by various government and police agencies, having more than 1,000 digital devices comprising of hard disks, CDs, DVDs, SSDs, flash memory, cell phones, GPS, and various make and models. Mr. Singh is graduate in electronic and telecommunication engineering and is having an overall experience of 37 years. We really embark on this transformative journey of you, sir. Thank you for your gracing us with your presence, and we are really truly honored to have you here today. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, sir. And I hope that everybody's ready. We can start now itself. So just may I share my screen now, if permitted? Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. And this talk is just on a short notice of I think just I got it around 11:30 that I have to speak on cyber forensics, DFIR, and some tools, including open source tools and all, and character representative. So just I collected some of my slides and some from Third Eye, and then I am here. Okay, so just on a short notice, I am available here. Anyway, so maybe there's some repetitions of slides, could be material, maybe there then. But yes, I have tried my best to that everything is okay. Feel free to ask question in between, no problem at all. Agenda of my today's talk is just we'll touch forensics and volatile evidence, then imaging, what is the imaging, why we do imaging, and how the analysis is done, and later we are going towards incident response, DFIR. Okay, what are the IR plans? We will discuss capital opportunities and the facilities available regarding internship and trainings at Third Eye here. So that way we will go on. First of all, cyber forensics. So as you can see on right side, it is a process that once a crime is, then we have to reach there or somebody as a first responder may be available there. He has to identify that what is the crime, what are the devices involved there, then what is the process to seize them, acquire evidence from there. All these and collection, seizure. After that, once seizure is done, then these are sent to the forensic lab. Before that, some task is there. Okay, and then lab, then we do imaging and then analysis, and after that, a report is prepared, and once it reaches to court, then we have to prepare documentation for as a report, and then as a because we are as expert we have to give our evidence that what we have done. We have to just defend the task done by us. So that is the reason that digital evidence what we are seizing is has to meet 5 criteria. It is given that it is admissible in court. Admissible in court means that we have to see that security and integrity of the evidence has to be maintained there. It has to be authentic, that what we have seized, proper procedure, proper methodology has been followed, complete in all sense, it should not be partial there, reliability and believable. So this is so that's all regarding cyber forensics. Definitely, it is the process that where we have to identify the devices involved, then seize them, and later the whatever evidence we have to make the image and process the image, examine the image, find the keywords there. All this process, analyze it, and all, it is all there. But yes, parallelly, security and integrity data of this device has to be, and for that purpose also who is handling that one, there is a document called chain of evidence, chain of custody, and it has to be maintained here. Who is taking over, who is handing over, these persons has to sign with date and time, and the responsibility whenever any device is in possession of anyone is totally fixed there. You can see here right side some pictures here that generally when a spot is there where some site is there, site of crime is there. So generally we always tell them on reaching that nobody should do anything, they should leave as it is and just go back. And that is the reason that do not cross the crime scene and nothing, nobody should do anything. No change at all. Immediately they are told that they should go at least 2 meters, 3 meters away from all the systems. These all 5 already we have discussed that in identification and containment here. Okay. Then documentation and photography goes parallelly. Data collection will be nothing but acquisition, data acquisition, imaging, and all these issues are there. Analysis, all these we will go through one by one, presentation and calculation. Okay, so just we will go one by one there. Regarding document photography, definitely wherever given. So our camera, preferably digital are to be placed into the document. So all the devices what are being used as chain of custody document is to be maintained there. So the chain of custody, you can say that the first responder who is reaching there. So all if I find some CDs there, some portable drives, some pen drives, some softwares to be installed there, and all. What are the devices available? Whether it's a workstation or server or laptop or anything like that. So whatever possible that we have to go through that one, photograph that one, and it is not that simple photography. If you have some label, identify serial number, make, model, so that is very much important there, and it must have that one. So in that case, a label is there, some label is there, then it is showing that one that we have to take closely. Then we have to ensure that readability of the photograph in such case is very important. Chain of custody, I have discussed already that we have to maintain that one. Who is the person who is handing over, what is the return time, and taking over, who is the person, and both have to sign there. some other details regarding case details and all that is also required there. Regarding data collection, when we reach the site, there are two options there that suppose a computer system or laptop is available there. Chance is one that it is already on. Okay. Second, next chance is that it is already off. Okay. So in depending both of definitely we require a photograph showing clearly it is on or off state. Okay, that is one thing. And second thing, when it is on, so we have to collect volatile evidence. Volatile evidence that we'll discuss in detail that all the connected details, whether it is online, offline, that is one thing. Plus, we can capture the RAM data. That is very, very important. We discuss later. Okay. In case of off, already it is off, nothing to be done there. If it is a big machine or some desktop or server like that, then hard disk may be removed and then hard disk can be seized. Not entire nowadays. Earlier used people send everything. Nothing is required. Only hard disk is required here. Okay. Never, if a system is already on, to be switched on again. Okay. Not at all. If it is already on, I told you that voltage data is collected. That is first thing. Second thing is that we have to make it off, but never shut down. So that is to be done by pulling the plug always. And there are obvious reasons that there should not be any script or a built-in program that it removes every entire data or the format the hard disk completely, nothing is available there. And that is the reason it is to be done like this. Next, so this already discussed the extension process having these main four elements. First is definitely identification and containment with that one. Containment is for the only system. Some other systems remotely from net that we have to see. And next comes that once it is all collected, then voltage data collected, and then we have to seize it. On seizure, we have to send it to lab after proper packaging and all. In advanced countries, acquisition part is also goes parallelly that capturing the image of the data in the hard disk is also done inside, but in India it is still not feasible. Obvious reasons that our first responder, police and all are not equipped well. They are not having proper tools training and all. Okay, so that is we have to see, but generally it is done in lab most of the time. Integrity we have to maintain through hash values. Okay, whenever we are taking the image, and we will discuss in detail also. And also we will discuss the detail. Analysis is basically once image is available there, this image is processed through the cyber forensic tools, and then entire data is retrieved back, including retrievable edit file. And after that, some other process like some tricks to analyze data, finding data there, keyword search, all these and we'll discuss in detail. And documentation is always goes parallelly with the all the process. Documentation of photograph is very, very important, and these are integral part of the analysis report. So analysis report, documentation all goes parallelly. So what is the valuable information we get from the interview? If first responder reaching the site of crime, so he must contact the person who are using or who are available there, including the system administrator if anybody is there. So definitely if this device is involved, which is identified, what are the system configurations, what are the operating system, what are the version one and all details, what are the tools installed there, whether encryption has been used or not. If it is there, then what are the key, which type of encryption is going on, and if login IDs and passwords are available which are associated with that machine, so we will try to get it if possible. If not possible, then it is lab to lab. Regarding first owner, I am discussing that he is the person who is visiting the crime site and he has to make seizure. Okay, here he has to record all timeline of events in his logbook. diary. Everything, date and time, chronologically, he has to, who is performing seizure, generally he is doing that. Then person get question, if it is being done a site, like I told you, imaging and all, generally it is not known. If it is, then it's, if he is using certain tools or commands on this system which is already on, then he should definitely record it in logbook. Suppose we are seeing date and time only of this system, and I always tell that we must record what is the current date and time here, and it should be matching with the actual date and time, and if it is in difference is recorded. So such tools which are command line tools like that don't do anything. Simply they are taking data from system and displaying. They don't. All these things should be done. But yes, the person should know what tools can be run, what cannot be run. Only tell never. If you are not aware about it, don't do anything. Then this tool which has been run, that is first thing. Second thing, what is the output of tools? What are the display after that one? What are the commands? All these things, time, details, and whatever I mean there. Suppose if some tool has been used, what are the changes in this? All these must be recorded there. Photography, it goes parallelly throughout the process, starting from the site prime to the analysis. So all already discussed that always we should have all details of the system photography, including make model and all, what are possible. Suppose when office is there, some then an inventory number may be there. So metal plate after zoom and all, it should be readable. If it is a suppose desktop and you have to remove the hard disk, then once you open the cabinet, then inside photograph as well as hard disk connectivity photograph, all are required. After removing the hard disk, again photograph has to taken, showing clearly that what are the hard disk detail, make, model, and everything, and it should be recorded in logbook that what I think. Always document the professional level and area of expertise the suspected users. So who probably is that? If he is available, his details must, because as a forensic analyst, we require it. We want to know because everybody is smart enough and he will try to remove whatever he has done. It will not be available. So we should know at what up to what extent this person can go and what he can do. And we have to recover. Some other details regarding volatile data, the current running state, whether system is on or off, the system configurations, what is make, model, and details, what is operating system, and hardware details, all are required there. If system is already on, then what is the activity being done there or in progress there, which tools are running right now. If we are able to know the root cause incident, definitely we require timeline of the incidents, events, all are required there. Then time, date, and user who is responsible for the cybersecurity incident there, cyber crime there. Network connectivity, I told you that if system is connected to local network, through Wi-Fi or through your LAN, RJ45 all details required there. Because all the details, what system is made of, because once you are going to seize, it has to be made of by pulling the plug and not shut down. But once it is done, you will not have all these volatile data. It will be lost forever. Some other details regarding volatile data which is required there, just I am discussing with you. System profile, all details. Then return time, always tell it that it should be definitely compared with the current data, actual data time, standard one. Then command history, what have been used there, system uptime, running processes, files which were open when you find it on, startup file if any is there, that any tool is executed as soon as you boot it, files access after booting, then any data in the clipboard, logged in users, who is logged in, who is this, all the shared library, all details are required there. Some other details, these are very useful, and this is basically applicable for Windows system, and there is a utility called system info, and through it we can have all the data of operating system installation, system uptime when it was booted, Who is the registered owner of the system? BIOS version, system directory, login servers, and network interface details. All are available here, and this can be used to get this directly. This is built in available Windows. And if you want to access that one, that you have to simply go to System Tools, System Information, just click it, and then you will have this window. And it is big data available there. All details can be hacked from there. So some more regarding voltage connectivity details. So state of network, there is connected node, that is something online, offline, open connections, routing interface, how it is connected, RCAS, all is connected there. And here I am giving some tools, mostly open source tools. Then Coffee is one tool for Windows, which was given by Microsoft to only police persons. Okay, then some other tools, System Info, PS Info, PS Uptime, Net Statistics, and WFT. All these are tools from the system. Next, some more tools that you name and uptime is W. All these could be used to collect the volatile data. So this is up to that once volatile is collected, the system is to be and data hard disk to and then sent to lab. In lab, then we have to carry out first task is imaging, and never a disk is analyzed directly. Okay. So we will discuss it here. So we are not going to analyze a disk directly. And reason I am giving here that every file in system is having 3 different timestamps there. That is modified action numerical MAC timestamps there. Okay, and whatever you do in a system on a file, accordingly these dates or data timestamps will change. And what is the necessity, legal necessity is that none of these written times should be later than the seized written date and time. If it is so, then it will be called a temporary evidence. And because defending advocate liar simply tell it is planted, it was not there at all. Okay. So what is the solution? We should have some, we can say another copy, or we can say that forensic copy of the entire data which could be analyzed directly there. Here, what we want that entire data, nothing is left there, and if it is taken from the hard disk, then we can analyze not directly. So here, once we have that such a data available, no change in return timestamp, integrity has to be maintained there. Okay, and we can analyze that. So that is the only solution that we have to make exact replica of the data there. This I was discussing that 3 different timestamps here, and accordingly whatever will do the created modified access accordingly you can see there. Before coming or going ahead with the details of the imaging, video imaging, we have to little bit understand regarding the file system. Okay, and because most of you are from I feel that we take in computer center, and you people understand what is the file system in computers, hard disk. Okay. And it is almost more or less same in most of the Windows, Linux, or even your Mac and all. So you hard disk is having highlights on table. Under file, the name of the files are there, and files are distributed in clusters. Cluster size is fixed 4 kilobytes. Okay, so this is all. But what it resembles is the book. To understand better, because many time I take classes with this person, and this I have to tell them. So here it is totally resemble with this strategy, the index in book. Okay, and then chapters are there. Chapter equivalent to files, and each chapter is having pages. Pages are equivalent to clusters here. Okay, Here also cluster size is 4K fixed. Here also in the chapter page size is always fixed up to page capacity. And last page book is always partially used, partially empty. Okay. Here also in hard disk, last cluster of a file is partially used, partially empty here. And this empty area in page book or in hard disk, it can be used to write data there. Okay, in hard disk, even some important data can be hidden into the slack area, slack space. This empty is called slack space there. Regarding deletion data from the book, generally, if you think that index is available and I put a white flood over that one, so then because index this chapter name is not available to you. You don't know whether chapter is available or not there, but actually chapter is available. So in file so entry in the of the file name in FAT is different, but data is almost everything data area. So that's I want to just discuss that one to you also. So what is the difference between copy and backup and all? When we make anybody can tell that we want a replica of that one, so we can have a copy of the hard disk data and then we can analyze. So what will happen when you make a copy? Simply it will copy entire live data, live which are available, active files are available from the source which is one to the destination one. Okay. So think of that with hard disk is 500 GB and 300 GB is the live data available, active data available there. So your copy equivalent to 300 GB. But does it mean that everything is available? No. Just I discussed with it how did I delete it. Delete a file hard disk. What will happen there? Okay. So it is becomes once you delete unlimited data and it is no more available in active data. That is the reason it's not going to be copied to the disk. Other areas swap files and space I that suppose last cluster of the file is available there. It is not going to be files, swap files, and slack space are not being copied to the destination hard disk. So these data will not be available. So such a copy of the hard disk is not a forensically sound copy. It is not an exact replica. So what to be done there? Yes, I wanted to swap file that you can see that swap file is I have seen on your Excel file there. Okay, and the first one you are seeing that the file is starting with tilde and dollar. So it is the swap file one. Swap file always hidden file. You will not find it. You have to show the hidden file. Then only you will be able to see. I have made it to show you, and it is available. So similarly, if I did right now, I am using PPT here presentation window. So here also one swap file will be available. So this will be swap file is basically that data is put in temporarily into the RAM and then RAM overflow is there, so it goes to that one. So what we have to do that copy is the logical backup and it is no more required that it is not a forensically sound copy, it is not exact replica. Instead, what we have to do is we have to do forensic image of physical copy. The logical copy or backup already we have discussed that it is not going to have entire data, only active files are available. So deleted files, swap area, slack space is not available. But forensic copy, what is the difference there? It is nothing but we are copying entire data from start to end. You can say that first bit to last bit, irrespective of whatever active or live data or not there. Okay, just if you compare these two, that simply that suppose 500 GB hard disk, 300 GB live data, So our copy or backup will be 100 GB. But in case of physical copy or forensic image, it will be always 500 GB because it is going to copy entire data from the first bit to last bit, or rather, you can say first byte to last byte. And that simply means the entire data, including your DT data, slash space, swap space, everything is available, and this is called forensic image. Okay. So here entire data, and this is the exact replica, or you can say forensic copy of the data. So we always, or we must have forensic image of the data. Regarding first one, I discussed already with you, but what his toolkit just I understand, then logbook already you discussed that it should be available there, and it should have all the details. He should record the date and time. Then forensic live CD then portable or hard disk or USB, and it should be bootable also. Sometimes bootable is required there. Okay. Must plus it should have some tools like collection image the hard disk and record the hardware software configuration. Photography, definitely we need a camera, and digital camera is always better because it is helpful in the documentation. Plus some more tools that we need required a forensic workstation in form of a laptop. Portability is required there, and it should have necessary tools available there. Then he must have a RJ45 cross cable. LAN cable, no, not a normal one, but cross one, and it is required because sometimes we have to make the image using a cross cable by connecting our forensic workstation or laptop to another one, so that we can connect to the resources and have the image from there. Then tool set, mechanical and all, to open the cabinet. For packaging and all, you need anti-static covers as well as a able PC to make it mechanically strong, so that if okay, then some more than permanent marking pen or required there. To understand more regarding what is the copy and image, here some visibility problem is there because due to copying and all. But yes, I can tell you that here one in left is a hard disk, you can see, and green one you can see are the active files, live files available there. Red ones are the deleted ones. Okay, and once you make the image, so it is going to copy. Sorry, when we are going to copy, then only green active files will be copied and the data will not be copied. So this is just a, you can see that. Okay, so that is the way it is done. Some alignment problem is due to copying and there. So this is the animation you can see here. So that is the reason that copying is not a perfectly sound and we don't require it. But instead, when we do imaging, what is the imaging there? That again, same you can see here that it copies entire data from the source, including DB data, and then to the right to destination. That is first thing. Second thing is that it computes checksum hash value of the original one as well as the data which is copied from the, or you can say image from the source to destination, and it is verified. Integrity is verified. Both will be coming same, and that is the image, and it is a forensically sound copy. Imaging process already, everything I have told already, that is this obvious here, that integrity and security of the data has to be maintained there, and for that we use write blockers. Hardware write blocker is always better. This tool, it should make a bit stream copy. Okay, all data from first byte to last byte. In fact, the tools does not do byte by byte, but it takes sector by sector. It reads one sector from the source to the destination. It creates exact replica of the data from the source, no change in the sequence and location of data. Storage may be on different type of media, then no problem at all, but it is a forensically sound copy. Okay. Time consuming process take a lot of time, and time is, you can think of that, suppose a 500 GB hard disk is there and you are making a forensic image of that one, that may be up to 3 hours, because first it is going to have a image of that one, and then it will compute hash value and the source and destination and then match. So that is the reason it take a lot of time. Regarding requirement of imaging tool, what it should do? Definitely it should make a distinct copy or forensic image from the source to the destinations. But it should have also option that it can make a image of a entire hard disk with partitions. But we always tell that the image to be done of entire data. Okay. It should not contents of or source hard disk. It should be able to verify the integrated data by having the original one. Source hard disk and then destination hard disk, and then if any factors IO are there, document that also, and documentation of the process imaging process. What is the source hard disk, what the destination, when it was started, what, and then check. So everything is also documented and it is available in a text file after it is generated by tools. Advantage are obvious that once you are done the imaging, that means your source hard disk, which is the original one, is totally preserved. Okay, there is no chance of any alteration or modification there. Okay. And if required, you can have more than one image also. You can take another image having the original again. Regarding imaging software, I am a big fan of FTK Image and it is freeware. You can download it and install it. Okay, but our Indian version TrueBack from CDEC is also available there, that also can be used. And it is basically imaging tool is built-in feature of the most of the computer. Any one you use, you will find it there. Okay. And mostly it is freeware. I told you that it is a slow process, takes time. Efforts are there that it is to make it a little faster, and that is the reason that imaging equipments have come into market there. Because when we use equipment, basically you can say customized system available there, which is only customized to make image and nothing else. So here we don't require a forensic person, laptop or the imaging tool. Everything is built into that one. Also, they have built-in write blocker only on hard disk to see which is source hard disk and connect to that only. Then write blocker is built in there. All features whatever the image software based imaging faster because it is a, you can say, customized or you can say dedicated system for that one. Most it for the on-site imaging task there, but generally in India it is not done. I told you already there, and it can make more than one image also. So example are many other listed than the forensic Falcon is from Neo, then TD3 from Tableau. CDEC as a true imager as the imaging equipment, they also have it. And if you want to just photographs of that one, that forensic Falcon from the Logic Cube is here. Next one is the TD3 Tableau. All are good tool, and this is the Image Master Solo 4. I have shown you that it is the left side is the source one, and three images can be made simultaneously from here. It's the true imager from CDEC. Most of them are having multi-imaging facility here. Write blocker, I told you that write blocker is built in when software you are having, as well also our equipments, they have source hard disk also write block totally there. But we always tell that to avoid any mistake, you must have a hardware write blocker, and that is the best that always use the original or you can seize hard disk with the write blocker, so that integrity and security of the data is maintained there, and you must have it. Software block I already told you that it is built in there, but yes, built in to the extent that you correctly, or in case of software tools image, you correctly identify the hard disk. You have to tell which hard disk you are running and this or source. Write blocker nothing basically that writing to data is totally blocked there. Okay? So that nothing and the security and integrity is maintained there. So just a photograph that you can see that one hard disk is connected to the write blocker and left side is the forensic station. tool running from there. It is a closer view of the write blocker that is powered on, detecting the hard disk and blocking the writing there. Regarding batch structure imaging, many there. Okay. First of all, definitely integrated security we have to maintain. Okay. Suspected drive should be original one, should be always connected to the write blocker, preferably hardware write blocker. It must be there. Destination side, it should be empty hard disk. If it is not empty, then it should be wiped out completely. Always do entire disk imaging and not the partition wise, because the hard disk partition may be hidden also there. All actions should be documented. Some details that document the details of the hard disk, make, model, serial number, and all, and the chain of custody, everything. Caesar note all should be maintained there. Note of down the size, hard disk, and connector. Okay. Destination side hard disk must always be having capacity more than the source. Be cautious that which is the source, which is destination, and major type parsing image should be raw. Okay, there all this NKS and we'll discuss later than the FTK, they are on what format, but yes, RAW is the only image format which is recognized by all, freeware or commercial. For storing the image, already we have discussed that you must have either new, otherwise freshly wiped, and hard size should be more than that, more than the source one. Once imaging is over, then original ones will be sent back to the secure place. Okay. Having access to the authorization only. So before that, complete my image, that all necessary precautions like packing and all and placing should be taken care. Never a original hard disk just seized should be sent by post or for it should be done by person only. Regarding scenarios that how imaging is done, that one is the normal one that hard disk is seized at the site by the first responder and packed and sent sealed and sent to the lab. In lab, we connect it to occultation or imaging equipment, okay, through write blocker. Then tool run from there. Empty hard disk is connected, and the tool is run from the imaging equipment or the workstation, and then we have the image. Simple one, it is the 90% cases we have the image like this. Scenario 2 is that suppose we have a system like laptop and we are not able to remove the hard disk from it easily. In such a case, we tell always the police person or first responder that you should seize the laptop and send to the lab. In lab, we connect it through RJ45 cross cable, okay, to the forensic station, and then once it's all details are shared, because once we have this one, then two system connected back to back, we can have access to the hard disk. So in that case, our laptop, our forensic station, necessary tools here, plus one empty hard disk for destination one, it is connected to that one, and then tool is run from the workstation or the imaging equipment here. And then what we do is that we have to like this one in this destination, and then we can have the image from there. This is scenario. Scenario 3, in the case of that, we have to have the live image. Like suppose some server is there, like suppose web server or mail server, and the organization say that we cannot afford to make it down for say 3 hour or 5 hour, like that, depending on the size capacity. And in that case, what we do is the system is already running there. We have a portable hard disk, it's having necessary tools, okay, and it is connected through maybe USB port. Okay. Another USB port, we can connect another portable hard disk to store the image of this server hard disk. Now tools run from the portable hard disk, having tools there. Here source is server hard disk. Okay, destination is the empty hard disk, blank hard disk what we have connected, and then we run the tool. So that is the way that we carry out the imaging here. Only difference that here is that because system is in running state, okay, many files are open and these details are continuously changing. Like suppose log files are there, then it's being appended data is being. So in that case, hash value cannot be compared. We cannot verify hash value because data is conditional. In that case, this first one image what we have, it is considered original image, okay, and a certificate is given by the system administrator that it is a live image question. So that is the way that live question is there. So just same picture that I wanted to tell you that the imaging report generated by the imaging equipment or imaging tool, it is always there. I told you already that all details regarding source hard disk, destination hard disk, it's all make and model size, everything is there, as well as the imaging report, what time it started, what time ended. All the details are with the imaging report available from there. This is just an idea from there. So this now image is available to the analyst and is to be analyzed in the lab. Here, what is done there? The image to be analyzed in lab, it can be done manually also using automated survey forensic toolkit and all there. Once the image is available, so we have to process it and entire data is to be retrieved back, because when the image is there, basically binary data, it goes through tool and entire file structure is recreated, and including that whatever retrievable data, recoverable updated files also are available there now. Already we have discussed that the knowledge level the investigate the person who suspected one is required there. Already I have discussed it. But see, everybody, every perpetrator of crime is can say that it's smart enough, or they will read data, but we want to know that one, because entire data they will not be able to remove, and definitely if suppose the crime has happened today only, are having the hard disk available, so we can big data also can be recovered there. Because if it is not overwritten, we can have it. Regarding tools for investigation analysis, many times in courts it is asked that what are the tools, what are generally defending advocate and all, they ask some silly questions regarding that one. But yes, what is the throughout we can say that globally there is no such you can say that recommendation of the which tool to be used or not used. Nothing like that is there, and that it cannot be there also. If it is there, it will be biased. Okay. So what is requirement is that tool should be widely known to the computer forensic community. It should be tested and tried, and results must be repeatable. And not only repeatable, that one result is available from the tool A, then tool B it is the same thing results. Okay. Moreover, nowadays that we have the problem with the malware and viruses also, that it is also recommended, but that our systems, what we have, our workstations, forensic workstation, this should not be connected to net or connected to net for some purpose only, so that corruption of tools is not there once stopped. If you find corruption, then you must have a CD or our nowadays portable drive available, that immediately it could be uninstalled and reinstalled. So you can must have a master set there. Whatever finding is there, if it is available and it is crucial from single to next tool also to be able to cross validate the results there. Best operating system for forensic investigation, and it is also many times questioned that I will say it is Dynex, because it is the operating system where the file system images can be mounted and analyzed. You have the Windows, you can have it and you can analyze, but Windows is not doing that. Okay. Plus, entire data, whatever in the Linux system is available in the hard disk, you can access and you can see what is there, including source code is also available there. If you think of Windows and all, it is not that you can go to entire area. Somewhere you are permitted, somewhere you are not permitted. Some hidden key storage device, everything is available there. many of the tools are default available in the Linux. So Linux is open source and source code. When I say tools, like suppose tool for imaging, there is a tool called Distemper DD. Okay, and this is tool is basic tool here which could be used to capture the RAM as well as the image, capture the image of the hard disk. Okay, and this is built in into Linux. Right? Similarly, tools to compute hash values is also available. And we do analysis. Some tasks are there that just simply listed that one is keyword search or data keyword search, timeline analysis, media analysis, data recovery. Report person always goes parallel. So little bit I will test all these things. Okay. Regarding keyword search, there is a tool called DT search which is built in most of the automated toolkits. Okay, and this could be generally we use their own because nowadays so much good tools are available. So manual work is very less. But yes, for a man you cannot afford so costly toolkits and all, then manual work is done. So here generally we tell the police person to provide the keywords to search in data, and if they are not doing, then we have to go through the profile and provide. Once keyword list is available, so these keywords are to be searched into the log files like firewall logs, IDS logs, router, whatever logs are available, or access log in the Windows system. All are, and once you go through, then certain data will be available there, certain files will be available there, and these files will be open, and then just that you can upgrade the keyword list. Okay. Now again, of the keywords to be searched here. Document all the file names what are available there with the date and time. Okay, and you can search and update. You can do it 2-3 and then all the data what is ordered, what is expected, what are the folders involved, what are the binaries or executable involved there, then web data, emails, everything to be recorded. That is the way keyword search is done. Recovery ticket file, it is built in feature. I told you already that there are built-in feature available that the data which is not overwritten by other data, it can be, it is simply they are able to identify it. But if you want to do manually, some to record data is available there that are listed is Scalpel, Formex, Photorec, and all are the freeware only open source. And like our image, these tools require same image as well as even if suppose fat is damaged, then also because our when we make image of the it does not fat sees the fat is damaged, we can make the good hard disk image the same as available. Here Photorec is the tool to recognize photos only. You can check camera or mobile phone and then all your pictures will be available there. Plus some other files are available. Tools are there like Unerase, ND Recovery, and RStudio. These also most of them are commercial or a few also that open source also there. But this tool also could be used to unerase or undelete the data. Some interesting files, and one is the which are useful in analysis. Recycle bin, and everybody knows that Windows is having recycle bin. Here it is a basically indirect file deletion facility. Okay, it is just like a trash that once you delete a file, that it goes to a trash. Okay, and if you want it back, then you can reclaim it from the trash. Okay, and file is written only when you empty the trash. Then it is written, otherwise not. So what happens when we do it, when we send delete a file and goes to that, basically files are moved into a special directory there, and it only empties when it then only deleted. So when a file is deleted, it goes like what happened then? Moreover, because when you delete a file goes to in and all, so it is this is having original path name file from where same. Okay, what was time deletion, what are the new path name, and what is the index. Okay. Through that one, we can have the sequence of file relation available. That in what order file were deleted by us. Anyway, this is just but our commercial toolkits like NKS and Applica, they have the built-in facility available that they can pass data from the info files and provide that. Then Windows shortcut files, generally when we basically .llk file, which is available in the desktop available there. Okay. And what when we create, suppose I have a tool available maybe like FTK Imager, suppose that I want to direct access that one, then I will create a shortcut and put into desktop there. So that is the reason we organize so that we need not always go to the into the folder and then execute. Instead, we can start from this. System shortcut on desktop, it clearly indicates that the user knew the existence of the file or tool and he has. So here it can be used to dismiss the claim of some illegal copy of software or the child pornography that about it and it, it was downloaded in a bulk. So because he knew that is reason, shortcut links are available there. Swap file already discussed there. That is basically a virtual system in Windows, and swapped out pages are placed into swap files. Basically, initially that having a application data is put into the cache there, and once the RAM data overflows, so it goes into swap file, and that is the reason that very important data might be available there. It is hidden, but and it size could be 1.5 depends. And file in Windows space file.sys, it is already I told it is hidden. Okay. And I remember one case that where encryption was used, but the original file was open, so its swap file was the hard disk. If you were we were able to recover the data because then hard not to crack, but yes, if it has been on the same system, then data may be available. Hibernation files, another one. So here basically image of data is placed into the Windows system while shutdown, and purpose is the fast restart. Okay, and it is locked in during the OS execution. Hibernation file size is always 8 GB. More interesting because it has an on state, and just you can say it is a copy of RAM while shut it down. If suppose we are reaching a site and system will shut down, but hibernation mode was simply you have available with you in the hyperfield.sys available and directly can be live. What is the data interesting data available there? Just like our RAM dump, everything is available there, and that is interesting strings. So when I tell strings, it could be user ID password also. Then website visited, photos, all sort of things. Whatever has gone into RAM, everything is available from hibernation and very interesting information available. Prefetch file Windows, again very interesting one. So basically it is a prefetch cache so that any application you are running, it's improved to boot and lunch time of that. By caching, basically we are doing is the OS determine but how much system resources are available there, and in anticipation allocate to that now. The user will need or application will need. It is available in Windows public prefetch folder there, file action PF. So what is interesting there before that, just see that one that you can see here. It's Acrobat here. That this is one tool. Many tools are there. So every tool, whatever there is, having a prefetch file, and this prefetches file is having interesting data. And what is the data is here? That it is having record of first and last time when the application was done. How many times if application has been done, date and time of the last 8 executions. Okay, So it is very much useful for an evidence for assessing use of specific tools on a computer to carry out the illegal activity, criminal activity. Think of that, suppose somebody has downloaded a particular tool from the net and then installed it, used it, uninstalled it, and deleted. Okay. So in that case, all details of how it was, everything will be available. Another interest is Windows registry, and this is basically a gold mine, and what we have, many of the tools we are well discussed and all available there. This is having system configuration, devices, usernames, personal setting of the users, browser preferences, web browsing, files which are opened, password, everything is available there. And you will write that 5 hives are maintained in Windows. Okay. An entire activity of the user, like I was discussing just going to a website URL, detail available there. What activity was there, you can find in the Windows registry. After that, downloading, installing, uninstalling, usage, everything is available there. But yes, it is a big domain and require a lot of to discuss. So I am not talking more on this here. Other thing is evidence correlation regarding suppose somebody is on IRC, some chat session has gone into what we find. Regarding automotive bus toolkits, they provide integrated user interface, ease of use, sequence is available there, built in. And here, if we use the command line tool, then we need to bother about that. What is the tool, how it is to be run, what are the input parameters, what are the output, what is the syntax, how to store the results. All these things are taken care by automated toolkits. What are the toolkits features? Just some idea that first of all the imaging. Okay, so it is built. I told you already that build is built in with every toolkit. Then integrity and authentication through hash values. They have the facility to compute hash values. Then recovery deleted files, identification levels. If they simply go through the, you can say, start of file, end of file, and then if it is available, then they can recover. That way, our not covered. They can identify the file bad extension if somebody has done this trick. So here they will match the extension with the file signatures. If not matching, that means the bad extension. Then they can identify the files with the slash space. That means last cluster has been used. Okay. Then they can identify the files which are compressed, which are encrypted clearly, and then or whether these are the protected with the passwords, and also they can display the file contents. If suppose you have a picture or you have suppose Excel or like your PDF, you need not go to there. Directly you can have the contents displayed, as well as very useful report features. Regarding toolkits, there are many toolkits available in the market. Some are commercial, some are freeware. I have listed clearly here. The CyberCheck suite is from CDEC Trivandrum, our Indian person, and it is funded by Ministry of Electronics and IT, where I belonged earlier. Okay. Then NCase and FTK are globally well known, commercial one, and mostly these are used. Helix earlier it was open source, but later it turned to commercial. Autopsy is freeware, TCT is freeware, then Nopix is freeware, ProDiscover and Belva commercial. So these are basically generally what you use are used to. Then, but yes, what is the popular nowadays is I'll say that FTK, NCase, and Belfast. But locally for training purpose and in some cases CyberCheck is also being used in India. Regarding open source toolkit, previously we have seen that that I have given that autopsy plus sleuthkit is the freeware. Basically, sleuthkit is a command line toolkit. Here you have to give commands, and then so over and above GUI has been imposed there, and it becomes autopsy. That is clearly given. The sleuth is a collection of command line tools, okay, and a library here. But autopsy basically all these are linked through a GUI like Windows, and then we can use. And if you start autopsy, it comes like new case, open case, and then works like this. So I cannot give this time is not so much that we can have all the detail, but yes, we use just like a commercial one after that. Limitations are there definitely that it will not help you to make so many things available here. Now we are coming to DFIR. Here, DFIR digital forensic incident response. Incident response, we have the steps or element there. These are that preparation, identification, containment, eradication, and recovery and follow. So for handling a cybersecurity incident, we must have an incident response plan and follow it. Basically, it is to be documented into a cybersecurity policy of the organization, that how it is to be, what are these resources available, everything. So just if you want to see that here would be 4 are there, but yes, this is a cyclic process, incident response. So that we have to prepare it well in advance, then detect the attack, if cybersecurity incident is there, then we have to contain it. Containment is that already you discussed earlier that disconnected, then which are the IP address connected to it, then how the capture all details, then eradication of the suppose malware analysis and constant activity also there. That maybe that we have to format entire hard disk and then reinstall these. So we'll discuss in detail one by one. First one is the preparation. So that we have to allocate sufficient resources. What is required there? Trained manpower. They should be having perfect training that what to be done in what circumstances. Then appropriate tools are required to investigate as well as analyze. And cyber forensics is part of that one. So we have to ensure that system applications used in handling cyber incidents are themselves resistant to cyber attacks. Okay. So it is definitely that we do generally investigation is not done online, it is always offline, like cyber forensics. Never works are allowed to connect to them. If you connect, then it can be definitely target of the cyber attacks there. So create a set of procedures to deal with incident, and I told you that the procedure to be documented in cybersecurity policy. Next, the identification. For identification, definitely we have to employ some IDS sort of thing, intrusion detection system. So intrusion detection is basically it is not blocking anything, but it is only generating alerts. So whatever analysis we have to anomalies in the system, that system is functioning, as some anomalies are detected there. So this to be looked into. If any alert is coming, why it is coming, everything to be seen there. Auditing functions, logs, this must be enabled. And generally people do it that to save space, they disable it. No, it is not. So because we require it to analyze, to capture, and we get to audit it, so all is required there. Once the system is part of some incident, some compromise is there, so we must have a full backup of the system. Okay, and collect the copy or forensic copy image of the compromised data context. In certain, when we were there, that we always ask them to provide their hard disk. If the hard disk cannot be given, we always wanted that we need logs minus 15 days before the incident. Okay, and after the incident up to today, all logs are required on this. So we want to know basically that how they were able to compromise the system, what tricks they have played, what vulnerabilities were exploited, and how it was done. So that is there that we have to estimate the scope of an incident, that how it was done. Moreover, everything is to document and reported here, that basic information about the incident, what happened, how it was noticed. Okay. Then log file analysis is a big task that we have to go through the log files and analyze that what are the tricks they have used to compromise. Then hard disk to be analyzed by making image and analyze everything is required there. Recover the data, maybe log files you have to recover there. Type, source, and purpose of attack we have to see. Source and consequences. What are the resources involved? Whether any sensitive data was compromised. All these details to be looked into and documented properly. Determine how to circulate reports quickly and what transmission method. Is your mail or server is also compromised? If you're doing that, it will be available to them. So no, we have to see that how this report to be prepared, and after that, how to circulate to the affected party. That part was the cause of the compromise, how it was done, what are the next some guidelines, some best practice they have to follow. Regarding containment, generally it is say we have to shut down the switch off the system, but before that, we have to see whether it was connected to some other IPs or the other networks. What are the IP address of remote systems? So that we have to see. Some tools are available regarding that. And once it is recorded, then only we have to disconnect the system from the LAN or isolate it. Okay. Before shut down or switch off, maybe we have to capture the volatile data, RAM data, all that, just like forensic system. And then only we have to shut down or switch off using pulling the plug or remove the battery of the laptop or laptop. Moreover, that we have to go through the rules of firewall like IP tables or firewall, whatever applied there. Okay, what are the filtering rules? How they were able to enter into the network? Go through. Whatever the login IDs which were compromised there, so they must be disabled and deleted, as well as some file transfer services also to be deleted there. All these to be, most of the time we have to, anyway, this come later out. Regarding indication, all the backdoors, keyloggers, malware, whatever them, we have to basically scan the system for all these using some good antivirus. Antivirus must be updated to the latest one, and then we have to detect the viruses or malicious code or malware there. After that, we have to reformat the hard disk completely, clean one, okay, and then reload the OS. Okay. If any user ID or administrator password was involved, then definitely this must be changed. My always because that well indicative user IDs must not be there. Like suppose administrator is there, so we should not have, and we should rename administrator something different. So that is not indicative. Full operating system must be reinstalled fresh, fully patched up again. Because generally, if it is not patched up, then vulnerabilities are there, vulnerabilities are exploited remotely, and then they are able to compromise. So when recovering, restore data from the most recent full backup. Always use fault tolerant system, hardware to recover mirror data. Suppose some data, something happened to one, the other one could be used. Redundant should be there. Regarding follow-up, entire process will be documented chronologically. Because once you have it, it can provide the information what it can justify incident response effort and upgrade the security policy. So what are the issues which were not there? Like suppose proper backup is not there, or So user IDs or password not changed as per the requirement. So all these things we looked into there. More recommendation, individual ID and authentication, automatic logouts must be enabled. Password disable should be maintained, change and password and all. Access control, limited roles should be there, depending on the person's activity, what he is doing, whether he need access to net or not, and how much time. Just I have given some role definition that what are the administrator, what general user, and how the similar that cordial is, suppose a hospital network is there. So what cordial is required access and what the OPD required, doctor then all trails must be enabled there. In recommendation, physical security, definitely, and disaster recovery also be there. Location of systems, terminals, handling paper printouts, setting of papers, everything should be looked into. Remote access points like VPNs, then encrypted passwords, dial-ins, all these should be looked into and scrutinized. Some more recommends. The data on the public networks which are going on, it should be encrypted, then only should be sent. Software disciplines like updating of antivirus, installation, and continuous check for the new signatures, new updates. System assessment could be done internally also, that the administrator and his team should run these secret attacks, their own system, like vulnerability assessment and point testing and hacking we try. And they should try to, so that they can know if any vulnerability is available there and we require some patching up. So we must develop a security policy and then confidentiality of policy to be maintained. Only it is to be shared with the internal users. It should not be published. For changing in security policy, the committee should be where there are updates require there, new sessions, CISOs, sanctions, penalties. If somebody is doing something good or bad or like accordingly sanctions or penalties are required there, it should be clearly mentioned in security policy and followed up. Regarding future recommendations in IR, that is first is strong authentication. Now nowadays many of these are being used. That one is the USB key or dongles that could be used. The smart card can be used. Biometrics like fingerprint or face recognition, all these are being used. OTP based authentication with 2 or more factors also could be used there. Enterprise wise authentication like one time polygon to authorized systems may be used there. Access validations, masking, extended audit trails. Even nowadays, the digital signatures based smart card or dongle could be used. Regarding, we are coming to career opportunities. So before that, we must know that what are our cyber forensic do. So many of these tasks are given there. Already we discussed so much that just I am going to read out because the big list. That as a part of cyber security or cyber crime investigation of cyber. So what we have to do is cyber forensic investigation, cyber security investigation, cyber forensics or digital forensics, and then you expand it to many more nowadays. Drone forensics, IoT forensics, and then cloud forensics. Many tasks are available there. So here, what we do is retrieve data from the virtual as well as physical devices. When we say virtual means that like VMware and all, some virtual machines are also available. Then collection of and analysis of data, network intelligence of artifacts, evidence of the malicious network activity, if it is there. Then reconstruct the series of events leading to compromise or breach. Collect, process, analyze, and preserve digital evidence in criminal cases. Extract and analyze metadata of the computer files. Collaborate with the law enforcement like police, judiciary, as well as legal compliance and HR teams. Ensure chain of custody. Already we discussed chain of custody that of digital evidence. Write technical reports to document case findings. What was the process involved? the analysis report to be prepared and sent to the person who sent the evidence to the lab. We have to identify the potential threats, provide recommendation for better security. Like we have discussed, that some compromises there. Log try to analyze how it was there, what was the bug involved, what was the exploit used, and to avoid what recommendation we will have to give that, so that next time does not happen. It is not that many times it's reported that there is a compromise, they are able to recover it, and after a few days again same compromise is there, because they have not taken all these things seriously. They simply you can say that backup data was recovered and restarted, because that vulnerability remains there itself, and that again it will be compromised. Testimony deposition in courts trials is an integral part of that one, and definitely very challenging. Plus consultancy services, all these are the tasks. Now in under these tasks there can be many roles, okay, job opportunities, and we have listed there. Totally new field. There's a lot of you can say lack of manpower availability in this field, in cyber security, computer digital forensics, including mobile forensics and all. So we have again there digital forensic investigation, digital forensic analyst, examiner, then digital forensic consultant, digital forensic specialist, evaluator, network analyst, forensic, and is not limited to that one. Already I discussed that nowadays drone forensics, IoT forensics, cloud forensics, okay, mobile forensics, separate area. I mean, say nowadays mobile devices forensics, which you can say the up set of all these things. So the big list there. To can say for students and all that we have some facility available at Third Eye here, and it is called DFL. It is a certificate program in cyber forensics. It is a program which is, you can say that around 1 month duration, 120 hours of duration here. And we have discussed here that in-person training that has this forensic, mobile forensic, cloud forensics, telecom, CCTV, DVR, image or video forensics here, and all these are available here. And after that, the certification is also paid. Okay, they can be part of that one. Definitely, it is charged one, and definitely very, very interesting one, and beneficial of all, including students like your MIT and all, and other organizations also. Venue is already the physical program, they have to attend it, and then okay, and what I know from my colleagues here that a few students from MIT have attended that one, and which is this is one, and this name is given there, Payal Melwal, and you can see the photos here. So she attended, and you can see that some posting and all there. I'm not going in much details regarding that one, but yes, there is a positive, you can say, Twitter response there. Plus another student that is Anjali Singhal, and you can see her response on Twitter, and it is you can see you can photo and all. Okay, so they have passed it, and that certificate is given there. So that is all from here. So any of your students, they are welcome and attend such a training program. It is very, very useful. And you can say that once they are able to do that one, that means their acceptability into the market, which is lacking in already manpower, very good, and they are having good expertise after that. Because our team is professional team is very much experienced, and they are doing a nice job. So this is all from my side, and now we can have questions. Time is available there, around 15 to 20 minutes.
Thank you so much for your words, sir. Okay, now the panel have been open for question and answer session.
Please.
Students, anyone who wants to ask any query regarding the particular presentation or about your internships or training program at the Third Eye, they can ask now.
Dear student, just one word from my side. Dr. Omveer Singh sir is the founding member of Indian cyber forensic community. I met him, I heard him so many times when I was working with CFSL Hyderabad. Thank you, Omveer Singh ji, for a very nice presentation. And actually, Omveer Singh ji, the students are, afraid into venturing out in digital forensic world. They think it's very difficult task. So students don't, get illusioned about it. It's one of the simplest branch of forensic science. Only thing you must know is that hard work, passion, and your interest in digital forensic world will take you to a very, very great heights, unachievable heights, which you cannot imagine, right? So it is just like playing like a gully cricket, and you should be proficient enough in handling tools, understanding the nuances of cybersecurity threats, and you will be one of the best DFIR expert in the country. So dear students, please ask questions to Mr. Omveer Singh, whatever doubts you have in this presentation.
Sir, you have rightly said that it is basically enthusiasm in that, interest in that, that makes them successful. If they have, then it will be. Yes, it requires time. They have to devote it.
No questions. That day they were asking so many questions from me in cyber forensic. Okay, Chintan, you can thank
Okay, sir.
Omveer sir.
Yes, sir, we can continue with our next presentation. And thank you so much, sir, for your words on this particular topic. Thank you so much, sir.
Omveer Singh ji, namaskar, and thank you for joining us at a very short notice. We are really grateful to you, sir.
Thanks very much, sir. And you have given me a right opportunity that I could speak to you people all. And yes, in very short notice, definitely I was feeling that how to manage it, but yes, I collected my whole resources and then did it.
Thank you. You spoke
Thanks
so
very
well.
much.
Good evening, Omveer.
Thanks. Yeah, good evening.
Thanks.
Ranjit ji, welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. And sorry, sir, for being late. Actually, I was. It was slip from my side. I was in
No. I can understand. You were busy
It's okay.
with some court duty.
It is okay, but probably it was all okay, and it went also. Everything is okay now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Okay, if permitted, I can leave because nothing is there anyway. If it requires, then definitely they can post questions whenever required.
Okay, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Thank you.
Our brief team is available and we can reply to, we'll try to satisfy all the queries whenever these are there. And whenever person like you is available, I don't feel that they will have many questions.
Thank you.
Right, and I say goodbye to everybody.
Yes,
Bye,
thank you
from
so
my
much.
side, and
Please, sir. Bye,
thanks for the opportunity given.
Yes.
Yeah, Chintan, please start.
Can we move forward? Okay.
Yes, please.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So this is the time for our second lecture on the today's sixth session of our workshop. And we have Dr. Ranjit sir with us. Dr. Ranjit Singh is a well-versed professional with more than 15 plus years experience in the field of forensic science. He is chiefly competent and sought after for his question document, cyber forensics, and fingerprint expertise. Dr. Singh is the founder of SIFS India Forensic Lab, serving the best forensic services globally. He has completed his master's and PhD from the University of Delhi and is qualified with CEH and CHFI from EC Council, along with additional diplomas and certification in the forensic science. On his name, he has many nation and international papers in journals of repute and books published in his credit. He has also provided numerous legal reports for honorable courts, police departments, NCP, and various government organizations and law enforcement agencies. He has rendered services to almost all life and general insurance companies and renowned corporates such as Tata Group, etc. He has given his expert opinion in more than thousands of cases. His contribution and work experience are not limited to the nation, as he also visited and delivered a lecture in University College Cork, Trinity College, Ireland University of Philippines, University of Bogue Philippines, and many international universities. He has provided services to many countries such as USA, United Kingdom, France, Australia, and many African countries. He has been often involved in providing free forensic training for thousands of police officials for the betterment and development of nation with his knowledge and intellectual ideas to not only nation but international by training many police officials from countries like Sudan, South Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Jamaica, Uganda, and Philippines. His organization, SIFS India, has many nation and international collaboration with various universities and organizations that expand the horizon of forensic science, working on his constant belief and developing and creating new ideas as per the need of art. Dr. Ranjit Singh is profoundly involved in forensic investigation, forensic training, and forensic education, and has made himself available to conduct the DVI workshop, sharing his knowledge, experience, and expertise with the participants of the workshop. Dr. Singh has marked his self-reliance presence of creating one of its kind user-friendly portal for connecting links of forensic worldwide. We embark on this transformative journey of you, sir, and thank you for gracing us with your presence. And we are really honored to have you here, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Chintan. Thank you so much for such a generous introduction. And thank you, Ravi sir, for inviting in this program that is a new dimensions or understanding the pathways of the skill development in the MIT University. And it's always Ravi sir is our teacher. When I started learning forensic science in 2004, he was the first person whom I am in connect, who came in MIT University. I was doing the diploma in MIT University, Yasho Bhavan that time. In 2005. So sir was the one, and I still remember sir came with some CD, and that time we are having the era of floppy drive. So now you can see that how the cyber native people come to the cyber migrant, and you people all like I can see you young people, Chandan and all the Chintan and all the participants, they are the cyber native people, and we are the cyber migrant. So being in a cyber migrant, we had, we can say the cyber innovator people like Ravi sir and all, those who have initially studied the cyber forensic and digital forensics. And it was challenging. I'm sure that it was very much challenging at that time. So thank you once again, sir, for inviting me and understanding my situation. And I was just running from that and came here, and thank you for Ombir sir as well for taking out his session on mine. So let me start the topic which I was given that in this new dimensions of understanding forensic pathways for the skill developments, a value-added course by the MIT University. And topic was given to me by Ravi sir, is entrepreneurship in the forensic science. As this topic I have delivered several times, so that was a one saving part for me, even in the last moment, that I do not require much time to prepare the PowerPoint. But yes, it was a good saving for me from this, otherwise I just forget this day. It was not noted in my calendar. It was my fault. So I'm again really sorry for this all.
No, not at all. My pleasure. Our pleasure. You are here, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So entrepreneurship in forensic science, when we talk about what is a forensic science, we always talk about the FSL and CFSL. And you have seen that people, those who are working from the years and years, they are knowing about the forensic science laboratory. They are knowing about the Central Forensic Science Laboratory. And still we face the question in front of the police officer, in front of the judicial officer, in front of everyone, that does the forensic science work in the private sector as well? how the forensic science can be helpful. So being an entrepreneur in the forensic science field, you can do many things, and there are a few things which I'm going to discuss with you all. And I'm sure that once this time allow, we'll discuss the more thing as well in this era. So whenever my PowerPoint will be not visible, or if you face any problem in hearing or anything, Chintan, please let me know.
Sure, sir.
I was just hurriedly running and just connected with some internet to deliver this talk. So I start this, if we talk about the entrepreneurship, and we all go about fascinated about the forensic science, doing the job in the FSL, going at the scene of crime, collecting the evidences, interpreting that evidences, and evaluating evidences and giving result. But being an entrepreneur is, I start this with a quote: the best way to predict the future is to create it. And even in my family, everyone is the government officer, and I also got chance to be in the government office, but it was not my cup of tea. It was a very difficult job to serving something with more responsibility. So I said, why not to create something which is not here in our country? So private forensic science laboratory was not a very well-versed concept in our country. So I started this with the journey. Why not to serve the corporate? Because, you know, being a private expert, you have your more client with the corporate. Earlier, you know, all the judicial related cases and other cases, only the government, they are going to send the government forensic science laboratory, all the law enforcement agency. But nowadays, even the almost 17 state police, they are sending cases to our laboratory. Court directly appointed us for doing the analysis on the several cases. Narcotics Control Bureau and many other government agencies, they are giving the cases to private forensic science laboratory. So it's very important to become an expert. And once we talk about who is the expert and what actually when the society asks, when we say that we are doing a private forensic science laboratory, we are not the government employee. So they ask, what is your job role? And they think that our job role is something like different. So they are not aware about. So if we talk about what is entrepreneurship, so entrepreneurship, if we talk, is just about the creativity and innovations. Whatever the things you can create and whatever the things you can innovate for the particular domain, either is forensic science or is any kind of domain. So in that particular things, when we have creativity, when we have the innovations, like yesterday we started the summer finishing school, where we called the Bindu Dara Singh, we called the Dr. Salunke. You all know that Dr. Salunke is everyone, those who came into the forensic science, at least they seen Dr. Salunke in the CID. So I called him yesterday in my one of the program, and he was so much excited to know that how the private forensic science laboratory working in Indian scenario. He was not even aware about that. So the creativity and innovation is very, very required once you want to become the entrepreneur. Becoming in a journey of the entrepreneur is not very easy. And if you want to actually work in the forensic entrepreneurship, you have to be very careful about devoting your time at least 3 to 5 years. In 3 years, you will learn something. In 5 years, you are going to get something. And after that, nobody can stop you. Once you will survive for these 5 years with your dedication, with your creativity, your innovations, nobody is going to stop you after, you know, after these time. So how this entrepreneurship begin? So in this, if we talk about the entrepreneurship beginning, so this have several steps. Like number one, creation of organizations. And nowadays you have seen that many private organizations are coming in Indian scenario. So creating an organization with a name should be whatever the name you can create. Even I didn't thought in 2006 when I created the Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science. I was not sure that why I am keeping this name Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science. And now even the 90% of my audience, they doesn't know the Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science, they're not as SIFS. So the short form is more popular than the actual name which I have created. So the creation of the new organization is the beginning of this entrepreneurship journey. Then scanning the environment and opportunity. Like, you know, we in COVID era, we all are sitting at home and we thought what we are going to do. So I still remember the first online talk show we started, that is on the 3rd April. And Ravi sir was the chief guest in that program. Me and Farinder, we started this when the COVID started in 3rd of April, and sir was the first chief guest in that particular program. And from that time, we saw lots of people started, online learning, because we are not capable of coping such things. So environment, once we get such environment, we will definitely reach to some success. So scanning the environment is very, very important. Like for an example, if you are working in the Delhi or tier 1 city, or you are working in the tier 2 city like Nagpur, Aurangabad, another, and you are working in the tier 3 city like Varanasi and Lucknow. So you have to see that particular environment, their paying capacity, their clientele need, their code procedures. So all these things is very, very important once you are going into the different environment for scanning these things. So this is the very, very important things once you are going to scan the environment for the opportunity. Every place you cannot give your forensic science services, but yes, at several places you can give. Like nowadays, cybersecurity is the one domain. If you have a good expertise, you can go in any small city where you can render your services, you can render your expertise, you can open your institute, you can get the people from that. And because nowadays all these all these things are working very efficiently. So it's very important that with particular environment you are scanning. So scanning of the environment is very, very important part of any entrepreneurship area. Like for an example, if I say I want to teach the artificial intelligence, I want to teach the deepfake learning, I want to teach the machine learning, those students, those who are having the biology background, am I going to get them into my program? No. So scanning environment is very, very important. The third point is identification of the opportunity to be pursued. As very rightly, Ravi sir said that you all ask many questions related to cyber forensic with the sir, and we had the Omveer sir, who is the one of the senior people in the cyber forensic domain. So opportunity, whatever the opportunity you're getting, how you can pursue that opportunity is the one very, very important parameters. Then evaluation of the feasibility of the new venture. Once you are starting any new venture, how this is going to be useful, because when we started learning the forensic science, that time we are not sure about, we are not having a much capability for learning the DNA technology. So that time blood grouping and other things was working. So now that things is not working. So evaluation of the feasibility and the new venture. Otherwise, the famous story of Nokia and Samsung, where the Nokia is not existing just because they do not have the feasibility and their new venture is not apt. And similarly, it is in the forensic science. Once the new technology is coming, still if you go by the tape and other things for the crime scene for measuring the things, and other once advanced investigator coming with a FARO technology. So you can see that how in the court of law, that individual who is coming with advanced technology of scanning the crime scene, measuring each and every evidences from the crime scene, and you are going with the old technology, traditional technology. So the feasibility of the new venture is again very, very important things, because day before yesterday we had a meeting with the Amir Lieberman, and he is the one who invented that layer voice analysis. So we are going to take that LVA in our office, and we have make a model for all the police stations from where they can send the recorded video of the victim, and on the basis of the micro expression and the questionnaire which we will create it, we can give the hint either these individual is telling lie or not, which is going to be a tools for the investigation, not as an expert witness. So this is the one venture we have created, and by that I'm sure that I have received a very good response from many DGPs of several states. That is going to be very helpful for solving the crime. So new venture, whenever you're starting, is very, very important. Like 3 years back when we started this digital sanitized room for one of the big hotelier, where the individuals are suffering the issues, their video is leaked and their message leaked. So in that condition, we have given this solution to one of the big hotelier chain of our country. We can provide the digital sanitized room. So new venture evaluation and feasibility is very, very important once you are coming as an entrepreneur, because that sanitization room is already existing. Digital sanitization is already existing. So we didn't created anything, but we just pursued the things which is required for particular organization, particular venture. So after opportunity which you have, then evaluate after evaluation, and you can start your new venture. And nowadays we are getting yearly we are getting around 1,500 room sanitization from that particular chain. So you can multiply it and see that how we can generate the revenue. And similarly, this model which we have yesterday we had the conversation, and we are going to launch very soon with the police stations. So it is very important to evaluate the feasibility of the new venture. Once in Indian scenario, we have this entrepreneurship in a several model. Either you can become an employee of any organization if you have the idea, like nowadays many companies, they are hiring the good employee with the good ideas. And particularly becoming an employee with your entrepreneurial skill in any organizations, you can have the good stakeholder over there. Safety is there, security is there, you will get the fixed income, and you can anytime, once you get the good idea, you can move. Similarly, as the creator of the WhatsApp did, after selling the WhatsApp to the Facebook, he moved to the Signal, and now he's raising fund for the Signal, and Signal is having the nowadays increasing business like anything. So once you are creative, once you have that idea, you can move to the any organization. Even we have created few tools, few technology for corporate governance to the several big companies, and we sold them that. Like earlier, we given the service to them, and after the service, we have given them complete solutions with the full-time employee. Now they are hiring the employee, and they are taking the employee in their team. But we have formed these solutions, and we have sold that whatever the solutions and copyright we have created. For that, we have taken a particular amount. So that is a one. Second, you can individually, if you want to start, if you do not want to become an employee of any organization, you want to be independent, you can be a self-employed, you can open your own organizations, or you can open your own proprietorship firm. Here, if you are becoming a self-employed, if there is no constant source of your income, you have the fixed expenses, your time you are devoting, outcome you have to be very careful about. In medical emergency, who is going to be, and the growth. Obviously, in the growth compared to the employee in the self-employed in the longer run is go. And once you have generated the money with your self-employed, you can start the business. If you have even now, if you have the money from your I'll tell you that how you can generate the money from the different sources. So you can start the business. For that, you require to have the model, SWOT analysis, risk factor, target audience, and development into technology. Like once in nowadays, we have seen that many people are there opening the organization, and they are starting with the document examination and fingerprint. After 4 or 5 years, this kind of cases you are not going to get. So development in the technology, we have to adopt the technology and how the people are doing. Because once, like when we started the key verification for the vehicular theft, and it was started in 2006, but now keyless entry is there, push button entry is there. So that technology and that particular where we are getting a 200-300 cases from the insurance company, it will certainly become a zero at a point. So we have to be very careful about in the business, whatever the model we are creating, and we have to see the future after that particular time when the technology is developing, how we can generate the business. Because in the particular area, in the particular laboratory, we have some employee, and the business that business certainly stop. Like we have done one of the business for the verification through the financial regulation of the US authority of one of the big bankers of the US, where we have 10,000 employees to do the verification. And certainly in this year, they are not hiring any employee. So getting a business for the 10,000 to the zero is a big risk factor. So we cannot tell employee that you should go because we are not getting that project. So the risk factor is one very, very important things which we have to be very careful about once we are doing the business with any parameters. And once you will have the good amount, you can become an investor. For becoming an investor or going to the investor, you require to have the blueprint, and that blueprint is required to have the risk coverage and the revenue model. As you have seen that Flipkart, Amazon, and others, like how the Flipkart, they have sold the things, and many other proprietorship licensing in the cyber domain, and even the open source, they are coming with a blueprint. So this is the entrepreneurial system, how the entrepreneur work, and what are the different parameters we have into that entrepreneur system scale. So once your business will increase or grow, you will require to have the more and more team member, and having the more and more team members, we require to treat them properly. So treating the employee member is and making a good team is again a big challenging task for any kind of organization, either it's a big organization or it's a small organization. Even once you will start your business, once you will become an entrepreneur in forensic science by providing the services to the corporate, to the insurance companies, to the bankers, to the police, to the Narcotics Control Bureau, to the income tax, to the Veterinary Council of India. So there are n number of opportunity where you can explore. But for that, you require to have a very strong team, and creating a team is one of the big tasks for any entrepreneurship, because you have the idea, you want to execute that idea, but alone you cannot execute all these ideas. So for that, you require the good team members. So for team member, there are some parameters. Number one, a proper training is required. Once you are not having a proper trained well people, your running businesses will destroy. So that's why I always tell students, get the proper training. Do not jump, without training, without knowledge, because in the court of law, in the courtroom, once you will go in your first, second, or third report, if it is going to be scrutinized properly by the honorable court, you are going to face trouble in your future career as well. So proper training is one very, very important thing. Then you being a mentor, you require to mentor properly, give the all scientific parameters, all the challenges which is going to face by the courtroom. And I still remember when in 2005, when Ravi sir, Sehgal sir, these all people came to us, they always give the proper case studies. Still we have developed the photograph into the dark room at that time. Now you have all these advantages, you have lots of automations. That's why you can be a more creative in sense of having the things. So mentoring, and you all have a good mentor in your university. So you can get you can take their experiences, take all their experiences, because they are like a ocean with experiences. Like if we are the pond, they are the ocean with experiences. So you can take more and more from them, so that whatever the mentoring you require in the future, it will be very helpful. Then once your team member is doing good, you should promote them. You should not take all the responsibility on your shoulder. You should transfer responsibility to your team member, promote them. Then you involve and appreciate them, whatever the things they are doing. And after involvement and after appreciation, they will feel happy and they will work with a more zeal. And then valued for the new mission, you can make them a team leaders, as you have seen in the several corporate, where the owner of that particular they do not have knowledge of all the businesses. They have given this people for particular project and a particular mission. And then once you will follow all these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, you will get a trusted and empowered people in your organization. So trusted and empowered people is very, very important for success of your organizations. If you do not have the proper trusted and empowered people, if you are changing the people frequently, then it will be very, very tough and very, very difficult for you to succeed into your particular business. After creating a good team members, being a successful entrepreneur, you want to see your businesses from the top. And once you see, you have to walk through your employee, you have to walk through your team member, and then only you can you will get the fly result in your businesses. There are 8 stages for creating an entrepreneur process, either in forensic or any. This is the normal enterprise creation and entrepreneurship process. Once you become an entrepreneur, what's the discovery, what actually you are going to give. So discovery is one very, very important thing. Then modeling, the modeling things like what kind of services you are going to give. And for that, you require to have the question in your mind. If you are going to deliver or you are going to give service A, either these services existing or not. If yes, your target size is the same as the existing. Because if someone is taking service from me and they are happy, why will they take the service from you? There could be 2 reasons. One, either your service is more qualitative than my service, or less price. So there is 2 things. we have to be very careful about creation of any entrepreneurship. So in this, modeling of your business is very, very important. Once you will discover, once you will model the business properly, then startup. So you have seen nowadays government is promoting lots of startup. Many angel investors, they are working for the startup, and forensic is one of the growing area, one of the booming area, as you have seen the 10-year back, the biotechnology, the MBA, 15-year back. So nowadays forensic, when we started, when we started learning forensic science, that time around 10 to 15 institutions are there. But now we have 150 plus institutions, those who are offering the bachelor degree and the master degree in the forensic science. 73 institutions offering the master degree in forensic science. So you can understand that what is the scope of startup. So startup is one very, very important thing. And in this, you have to create the model for a startup so that you can get the funding, whatever the criteria you have. Like you have seen lots of hackathon is going on. Many people are giving the problem. Recently, the Rajasthan police giving the 5 problem, and for that they are giving the 2 crore rupees for new startup. So these kind of thing is very, very important. Whatever the problem we are having in existing model, particularly who is going to be our first contact point. So our first contact point is the police officers. So if you are creating some startup which is going to be helpful for the police officers, that is going to be very, very booming for your business and for entrepreneur process. After doing the startups, the existence is survival. For that, you have to be careful how you are, because we all have the idea in our mind. Either that idea is going to exist or not, and what is the scope of their survival. As I said, that a key verification is one of the example. When we started this in 2006, that time we have receiving lots of cases, even almost all insurance company, even in the top court, they found. But now that not going to be in the good frequency, because from many years, from 3-4 years, we are having the post-mortem start and the keyless entry. So you're not getting to get the tool marks identification on that. So survival of existence is very, very important. And similarly, in the digital era, the signature is almost all corporate, they are moving to the blockchain for the transfer of their documentation. Earlier, they are having the NDA and other things they are signing through the signature on the pen and paper. But now they have the VeriSign, now they have the blockchain technology where they do not require the physical signature. And very sure in coming days, Ministry of Corporate Affairs and many other corporate, they are going to come through the VeriSign and the digital signatures. So in that case, we do not have the proper document, which is even the insurance policies. Earlier, there are lots of cases for the mis-sale of policy where we get the signature verification. The individual, they deny that he or she has not purchased this policy. And for that, they request the signature verification. But now there's almost all insurance company, they move to the policy for the OTP verification. So in that particular locations, OTP fraud is on a high. So what are the model you can create for that? So that signature verification is also going to be very less in coming days where we have a lots of frequency. So earlier we received the cases for facial recognition, like I am the one who submitted the one photograph, and the person, insurance company, they came and they click one photograph. So clicking from photograph to photograph was the but nowadays they are taking the live photograph. Similar in the telecom industry, which revolutionized by taking a revolutionary approach by taking all these photograph to live photographs. So live photographs solving the more problem, and they are getting a 3D photograph. So that verification is going to be very challenging in the coming future. And we can say challenging, we can say also is going to be very easy. So that what is the success of your business, which we are going to create, what is the success factor, what is the success things, because nowadays it's not the manual or the Excel. Nowadays they have the SAP verification. Almost all kind of companies, big corporate, they have the ERP and the SAPs where they are maintaining the success factor. So understanding all these SAPs, ERP, and the success factor for the corporate governance, because in entrepreneurship you are going to get the 90% business from the corporate and 10% business you are going to get from the government agencies. Still, we have a myth in Indian scenario that government authority, they only give the they give only cases to the FSL and CFSL. So in that scenario where you have the technological advancement into corporate governance through the success factor and through the all kind of modeling, you have to be very, very careful. Then adoption of the new technology. Once the technology is changing, you have to be very careful about the new technology. Like we all have adopted earlier. If we talk about 3 years back, we never had such kind of conversation. We never had such kind of classroom. That's why the movement of the people or the learning from the different resource person was difficult. Now, with this technological adoption technology, either through the any kind of online learning, we can learn from any other sources. So that is a thing which you can find it out. The adoption is very, very important, even in the forensic science. Whenever you are starting, you should be very creative for adopting the new technology and the new challenges which we are going to face in this. Then independence is very much required. You should have your own capability. You should have your own capacity for solving the client for the cases. If you are more dependent on other people and you are not understanding the technology, I have seen many private forensic science laboratory. I cannot name any, but at least 6, 7 private forensic science laboratory, those who have started by the people, those who are not from the forensic background, they just make an investment, and after that they are dependent on some other people, and people are moving. That's why their success is not going to be on the top. And 6 forensic science laboratory, they have closed, and their services, their clientele, and their equipment we have purchased in our laboratory. So independence is very, very important. And then existence, that is not for beginners, but after that you can like Shedlock Institute of Forensic Science is the one company. Apart from that, I have 17 other companies where we have the investment and making the different businesses. Like we recently purchased the company Realistic Biometrics. So we can purchase, once we have the existing model, we can create a more companies, we can create a more kind of businesses. Recently, in the last year, April, we have created a company called CGM Cloud Private Limited, where I'm the director. So like that, we have a 17 company, which is concerned with the Shedlock Institute of Forensic Science. So Shedlock Institute of Forensic Science, the one, and apart from that, 16 other companies for whom we are providing the different domains and different services. Because once you'll go by only one things, you cannot create the good team. You have a lots of challenges in that. So these are the processes is very, very important. Once you start this in Indian scenario, we have a very economical and sociological viewpoint. Like one is inherent disadvantages. Many people, those who are coming, they are the first generations. If my son will come in the forensic science, that he might be the second generation, but we all coming as a first generation and starting our own. So organization mission is required to be very accurate, and that I'm seeing that many people do not accurate with their organization mission. So you should be very, very careful about once you are opening your entrepreneurship. So what is your organization mission? Because what you will start, you will earn the money, and people will say you are doing the work just for the money. So profit is not a dirty word. We are, doing 15 hours, 20 hours works. So obviously we are doing for the profit. We are not doing for the charity. So in economic and sociological aspect, you will find that you are doing the work for the profit. So yes, we are doing, but because profit is not a dirty word, and we are not doing any charity. And it's required to have the work with the market force, because if the market is required, like at present, we have around 17 African countries where we are running the courses. And in 17 African countries, we are running our courses successfully. And we have around 28 universities in foreign where we are running the courses successfully. And in India, also many colleges, we are running the courses. In Delhi University, we are running the courses successfully. So this market force is very, very required. And once we do this corporate training, corporate courses through the Delhi University, where we have the students from 19 countries, we do not say that by doing the certificate course, you are going to become the forensic expert. That is one way by which you can understand the concept of the forensic. And once you find that this field is good for you, or this is skill enhancement, you can go for the higher studies. So many African countries, their government is sponsored people, they are coming, and At present, also we have from the Kenya, we have from the Somalia, they are here in our laboratory. They are learning the forensic science and they are the government sponsored people. So we have to be work with the market force, what is the market is required. So it is very, very important. Then building an organization. So how you can register the organization? Many of you might know how to register the organizations. So here the one golden, things are one important things you should be very careful. Once you, register the organization, always take a good company, help from the good registration company. You should not go by any other, because in the either in the Just Dial or any platform, you find thousands of people, those who are providing these services. And if they are not good in the document creation, your MOA, your AOA is not properly created. In future, once your business will grow, you cannot, it's very difficult to make an amendment in the AOA and MOA. So recently, or in the beginning, once you will get the good registration company for registration of your MOA or your AOA, then it is very, very easy for you to make the organizations. So in India, we have several organizations, several kind of organizations which we can build. If you want to become an individual, alone you want to start. So we have two kind of organizations. One is a proprietorship, where you can register. And again, you can register with a single director OPC, one person company. I recommend always go for the OPC. The reason behind that, OPC may have some obligation to document and put the documentation on the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But here, your business will look to the international body on your government portal. Once in a proprietorship, you cannot show your business on the government portal. Only if your businesses exist more than 20 lakh, then you can register for the GST, and then only the government can look into your businesses, because proprietorship is generally not having any central data or master data portal. So OPC is the one company which is registered by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, by which you can start. Then partnership firm, if you have two or more than two people, you can start. These are the three kind of company. Partnership firm, LLP, limited liability partnership firm, and the private limited companies. So in this, you can register with a group of two people or more than two people, where they can become the partner or they can become a director. So the I'm sorry. The third category of the organization is a society or the trust, where you have the group of people. And these again have three kind of, which is very common in Indian scenario. One is a trust, second is a society, and third is a Section 8 company. Section 8 earlier it was Section 25 company as well. So you can register it any kind of organizations, and you have seen even in the private scenario in Indian, few laboratories, they are under the trust, they are under the society, few are under private limited, few are under the OPC as well. So all these kind of companies in the private sector of the Indian scenario, they are working. And after that, once you will get the company creations, then you have to require some registrations, registration like accreditation of the laboratory through the ISO, through the other things, then export with a qualification and the proper experiences. So that registration is very, very important. And so in the beginning, you can start your registering organization with the MSME, where you have an advantage for getting the payment on time from the corporate. And if you're going into the product, you require to do the GEM registrations. So government e-marketplace registration, if you're going into the selling of any kind of product. Then different ISO, so International Standard Organizations certification, and GST registration is required. So why the ISO is important? Once you will work for the international bodies or different other country, they require. In Indian scenario, people are not aware about the importance of the ISO, or even they are not look, they only ask, are you the government authorized? So government authorized, they have the only term called government authorized. Government never gives authorization. Our law section 45 give authorization to produce the reports. So such kind of myth is there in the scenario. So ISO is the one which is required for the corporate governance and services to the corporate. So we have several kind of ISO, like this is the MSME certificate we did for the Sri Lankan Institute of Forensic Science. Then we did for the GEM, where we go for some product and other things, like nowadays product and the services. many government agencies like Narcotics Control Bureau and many other government agencies, they are taking the service through GEM only. So our services are on the GEM so that they can easily take. So these are the few categories which we have mentioned here. Then ISO for the 9012-2015, so which is very common for the quality management system. Once the quality management system is approved by the international standard organizations, you have to maintain the information security management system. For corporate particularly, it is required. This is many companies doesn't have in Indian scenario. But once we work for the corporate and we have their data, we are dealing with their data, and we have thousands of people data from their companies to our company for the checking security or for checking any kind of checks. So for that, we have the requirement of the information security management system, and on which we always go through the several audits and several surveillance. So these kind of things is very, very important. Then not for the code purpose in Indian scenario, but once you are producing this report to the international country, as in my introduction, Chintan said that we have produced the report for the UK, Australia, Sudan, USA. So they require the GLP certification, and that is called the good laboratory practice. So good laboratory practice, either we are following the international standard registrations norms or not. And for that, we have to face the audit and other thing. So you can see even in the initial date was a 21, then first surveillance done on 22, then second surveillance on April 23, and this expire on the April 24. So all these things are the good laboratory practice we require to maintain. And during that audit, we have to show all the documentation in the processes. Once you are dealing with the calibration testing, like we do some kind of testing in our laboratory. So for that, we require to have a 17025 2017, and certification name is same for the NABL also, but NABL have the more and more complications. We are in the process to get the NABL certification as well. Let's see by when we are getting these certifications. So, but before that, we have a similar kind of certification which internationally recognized for general requirement for competence in the testing of the calibration, which we are doing in our laboratories. And then confirmatory assessment required. So this is 17,020. There is the one certification which required by the international body. Then the customer satisfaction and the complaint management. Either your organization is able to solve all the problem of the customer or not. So this is the one very, very important certification required. And then as we are working with many biological and other things, so environment management system is very much required. So whatever the hazardous material for the chemical testing we are collecting in our laboratory, how we are managing. So environmental law, environmental protection law, and many other laws under which we have to follow all the acts which governs the environmental management system. And then occupational health and safety management, because our expert, they visited to the crime scene, they go to the fire scene, they go to the accidental reconstruction, they go into the mountains. So whatever the insurance policy we have for them, what are the occupational health and safety management we have for them. So all these provisions we have to cover under this 45,001 2018 certification. So this is called the occupational health and safety management system. And then GST registration. So all these ISO certifications you do not require in the beginning of your organization. Once your organization will grow, once you will get more and more clientele, you will get such kind of requirement, and the corporate will ask, do you have this certification? Then you have to apply for this certification, and then you have to meet with all the requirement of certification, and then you can find it out the useful things. So what all things we require in this entrepreneurial process? So we require the human resources, we require the people, those who can manage the company. We require that our operational sources, because you cannot do all the work by your own. As here we have 45 people in my lab here. So they all are having the team leaders, they are having their own operational management. So like that, you have to create the team. And for that, you have to several things. And For that, you have to be very, very useful about retaining the staff. Your old staff is required, so that because they are understanding your process. So in our organization, we have around 8-year, 9-year-old employee, those who are working with us. So retaining staff, hiring new staff, training them properly, onboarding them for the process, making them understand the administrations, then recruiting the processes for the learning management, then performance management and their appraisal, and then their self-service, whatever the self-services they are doing, employee self-services, then scheduling the management, whatever the responsibility we are giving to them, then absence management, if they are the absence, who is going to work for them, then leave management, if someone is taking a long leave or any kind of leave, so who is going to manage, then reporting and analytics and employee reassignments. So if an employee is on the particular task and that particular task is closed, or you are not able to get the good response from that employee, so how you can reassign some other work to that particular individual. So these are the processes which is very, very important. And ultimately, when you are the entrepreneur or you are coming into the business, the marketing and the licensing is one very important pillar which is required to be work on it. So industry background, where you are going to provide that, like we go provide the services for the pharma industry, and in the pharma industry, there is, once we study the market side, we find that there is a lot more complaint for the pharma industry for the quality and control assurance. And once the people are going into the courtroom, they are getting a high, they are giving a insurance pharma company, they are giving the high compensation. So how we can reduce the compensation? Like for an example, recently we did for one of the big pharma company, and their plant is Goa, Bhopal, and every places, and they are supplying that services to the Maldives. So I visited Maldives, and we proved that whatever the fiber, we agree that there is a fiber, and that is a quality control failure in that things, but that fiber is not harmful. That fiber is not going to kill anyone. So the compensation rate accordingly will reduce. So these are the things where you have, the being a forensic scientist, how to analyze the fiber, the quality of fiber, the effect by eating the fiber in the form of medicine or other things. Even in the fly, insect sometimes came. So what are the habitat of that particular insect which is into the medicine bottle? Either the individual, someone from the like Australia, someone from the UK, if they are the one who have killed the insect and put in their bottle for getting a claim, so their habitat, their phylum, their all identification of insect is the one background which we done for the pharma industry, and we are getting a very good response from the pharma. So this is one example, and similarly you can go for the any kind of industry. Like we have the project from the Maruti, we have the project from the Hyundai, we have a project from the Toyota, and we are doing testing on their paint. Either their paint is good for not catching the fire or not. So the fire loss is very high in the cases of Maruti. So with a team of their 8 members, we train them. So 8 permanent employee, they onboarded, and they created their own fire investigation department with the Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science training program. So industry background search is very, very important, where you can go and see. Then see the target market size. What are the market size you are going to get? Then trends and industry assumptions. What are the trends going and what are the industry like? Nowadays we have a trend on cyber forensics, right? And in cyber forensic also we have a trend on cyber security. After the breaches of Air India, after the breaches of Big Basket, after the breach of Domino's, or after the breach of particularly in the AIMS. So trends is on the cyber security. So people are moving more towards the cyber security. So we require to be technologically advanced for the industry requirement and the trends which is going on. Then competitive analysis, whatever the market require, and either you have the capability or not, and what are your competitor, means the other people of the same nature of business, those who are able to provide and you are not able to provide. So the competitive analysis is one very, very important parameter which we require to be careful about launching of your business. Then SWOT analysis. SWOT is one very, very important. It can be external, it can be internal. And in this, this can be what are the strength of your business, what are the weaknesses of your business, what are the opportunity you have missed or you can gather, and threat. This can be strength, can be external, can be internal. Weakness can be internal, can be external, that opportunity can be internal, can be external, and threat also can be internal and external. So external threat, we can easily find it out, like either there's some security attack or some data breach. But finding the internal threat in the entrepreneur system is one of the challenging part. Either your people, those who are working with your organization, they are good with their internal things or not. So this is the one very, very important parameters. So like this, you have to be careful about marketing and licensing in your business. Then once you get the business, once you market and once you get the client, then managing that client and controlling the account is again a very task. For that, you have to make your good finance team, those who can control. And these are the threefold objective we have into managerial and account controls. Like what are the businesses you are in? You are in forensic, in service sector or in equipment sector. So in equipment sector, if you are going, you have to be very careful about the specification which we are providing to the as a vendor, because if your specification is not matching to the organization, after taking the equipment, they are not going to give you the, they are not going to clear your invoices. So that is a one very, very important thing. So what are the businesses you are in and how long you are going to operate it? Either it's a short-term project or it's a long-term project. So what are the capability and the capacity and the knowledge base you required for that? For that, you have to create a proper ecosystem of operating that business. Then how do you think it will succeed? What are the parameter you think that this is your business and this business going to be very, very careful once you will start this. So these are the 3-4 objectives, very, very important. And for obviously for either short-term project or the long-term project, every time you require to have some, some people, those who can be your financial resources. So for that, you have to go for the fundraising, and this fundraising can be of the crowdfunding. Nowadays, people are getting the crowdfunding for many kind of things. They are getting the crowdfunding for even for their study, even for their all kind of work. So you can raise the fund by family fund or crowdfunding or the angel investors. So in crowdfunding, particularly in the crowdfunding, what we require to have the idea. And by that idea, we can create a campaign. And by creating the campaign, we have the people, those who will like to fund in your business. Then your project will going to be very, very popular. And then you have to build your project so that you can give reward back to the investors, because if they are investing money in your business, obviously they require some kind of profit in long term. So reward backers is there, and the journey has just begun. So by that way, you can raise the fund. And for raising the fund in Indian scenario, we have a few parameters. So like if we talk about the crowdfunding, so crowdfunding can be any sources. There are many websites, those who are working, like you can go for the impactguru.com, you can go for the indiegogo.com, where you can register your idea, you can make the campaign, and if the campaign is opted by the people, they will be very helpful to getting that campaign. And then you can impact this idea by this website like GoFundMe. So these are the crowdfunding website. And from here, all these websites, I'll send this PowerPoint to the officer and he will share with you all. So in that case, you can find it out, all these crowdfunding website where you just have to put your campaign and you have to put your pitch. And if your pitch is important and if your pitch is useful, then people will invest. And for that, you can see that how the investor work. There is one series called Pitchers. So you can go and see that what are the problem being an entrepreneur you face once you go for the crowdfunding or you go for the angel investors. So who can be angel investors? So angel investors are the people, those who have the capital in their businesses, and they exchange that idea for the ownership. And for that, they give the initial support in your businesses. So in Indian scenario, angel investors look for what businesses you are looking for. So what is the viability, vision of your businesses? Either you have the good management team or not. And you have seen this angel investors in the Shark Tank India, where they give that, I will give you the good management team, I will give you something, I will something. So reasonables is in your valuations. So it's a very, very important that what are the valuation you're getting for your business. For that, you are getting the investments. And these are the some steps by which you have to prepare a pitch deck. For preparing a pitch deck, you can log in pitchdeck.in, and from here you will create a pitch and you will get the idea how to create the pitch. Once you will create the pitch, you will type your service prototype or the product prototype, and this product prototype will go to the angel investor. And when the angel investor find, they will call you for the presentation, and where you have to present confidently so that they can invest in your business, in your the entrepreneurship. And these are for your angel investors network, where you can make your profile. At least you can experience, you can just have the idea that how to make a profile, what are the investment network people. There is one recently, if you have seen copymug.io. So copymug is the one platform where the lots of CEOs and the people, those who are coming for the businesses investments. So angel.co india.investors, you will find the India investors. Here you will find the word investors as well. So if you have something which is globally going to put an impact, then you can make such a project and such presentation for through your pitch deck to the angel investors. And then some after getting the funds, you have to maintain some regulatory framework in the Indian scenario. Like you have to put the registrar of the company, then you have to good service tax, you have to fill, then income tax, then for investment which you have taken, you have to file the project closure report and the financial closing report to the government, audited report and other things. So these are the obligations. For that you require to have some external source. You cannot initially in phase, you cannot take all these people in your organization. Even after the 15 year, still we do not have that capacity in our organization. We take the help of some external organization who make the financial closing for us. So that is a regulatory framework is required. In Indian scenario, there is a study which show that 90% Indian startup fail within 5 years of inception. If you remember, initially I said you require to be very confident about the 5 year, 3 year in your understanding and 2 year in your marketing and success. So the people, those who are not able to sustain for the, for the 5 year, they are not going to become a good successful entrepreneur. And that is the reason for the failure. In the study, it is found that the major failure reason is the lack of uniqueness. So you have to be very creative, very innovative once you are launching some innovation. Like you can see the best example is everyone is selling the tea from the long days, but MBA Chaiwala, he makes some unique concept for gathering the people, gathering the particular audience. So that's why the tea was already available in several shops. So MBA Chaiwala shop is not a special where you are getting the tea. The model was already existing, was only there is a uniqueness to connect with the youth with some kind of marketing campaign. So these are the things which is required to be very, very important. And the 70% of the venture capitalists, so that VC is called, angel investors are also called VCs. So they believe that they don't have the unique business models, and they also believe that we copy the business of the Western. So Western business models we copy, and replication of the Western business model is again challenging for them, because that might be their ecosystem where they are having this capability and they are having that success of. But if in Indian scenario we are copying that Western model, that might be not going to be successful in that case. Failure of entrepreneurship, we always cannot talk about always success. We require to be talk about the failure as well. So failure entrepreneurship, we have to think that why the business failed. If your business failed multiple times, and might be there is a possibility that you have not worked properly, so you have to start again. And for during the starting again, you have to look and take care of few things, like evaluate why the business failed, what are the main key, because we all know that why the business failed. Even in the examination, we received the less mark, we got the less mark. Out of 100, we got the 80, someone got the 50, someone got the 99. So we know that why we have got the less marks. So evaluation is very, very important things, which we generally failed to do. And we believe that we are doing a wonderful work, but only our luck is not. मेरी किस्मत ही खराब है, इसलिए मुझे success नहीं मिल रही है. So we cannot always, curse the luck. So luck is I say it's the last part of any success. So first you have to evaluate the business, then separate your identity from your businesses. People know me, people know my business. So my business, as I told, that Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science. So the people of forensic community, they know about the Sherlock Institute of Forensic Science. People of the different community, they know my different businesses. So my identity, I have to be very careful about separating my identity from my businesses. So then assess your attitudes. That is again very, very important things. Once you are going in the business, client is everything for us. So attitude is very, very important. Positive attitude for concluding that business is very important. Then find a product or services which you can be passionate about. You cannot just see that that particular person is doing good and we start copying that model, and we are not passionate, we do not know the ABCD of that model, but yes, we want to do because someone is doing and he is successful. So in that case, you are not going to get the proper success. So then find why you, why not the other. As earlier also I said, why only you want to be, why the people give service to you, why the people take your services. So it's very important to find it out why you. Then calculate the cost, whatever the cost, and you can calculate this into the 3 year, 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year. So 1, 3, 5 formula, what you are going to be attained in the 1 year, then 3 years, then 5 years. Until as you do not have the target, you cannot achieve, right? And then after calculating everything, you build your team. If you require someone, those who is required and who is key element of your organization in your entrepreneurship. So if you have a dream team, only your business will be successful. Otherwise, there is a very strong chances your business is going to be fail. And then set the clear goal. What actually you want to do through your entrepreneurship? What is your clear goal? It's not like I want to do just because people are doing, just because profit margin is more, just because I just fascinate about this. If you do not have the knowledge about that particular field, even you are 100% passionate or 200% passionate, you cannot be a successful entrepreneur. So for that, once you will require to have the services, you require to have some kind of equipment. So these small equipments we have in our laboratory for where we are doing the analysis of document examinations, for fingerprint examinations, for FINRA and other things, for audio, video, and digital forensic, cyber forensic laboratory we have here in our SIFS. Then fire testing laboratory, GCMS, we are taking the help of one of the company called Quality Lab. So they have the GCMS from where we are doing the testing. Other things are from our laboratory. So collection of the exhibit from the scene of crime, their microscopic examination. So these kind of things we do. For the chemical reaction testing and other things, we took a help of some external source because we cannot create everything in our laboratory. So then, as I said, the key verification, this is the one things which we started, and after 15 years, we find that this is, we are not going to get the good cases, good number of cases in the coming future, because ultimately the keyless entry and the post-button start is going to be absolute this technology, and this is not going to be the apt for the further examination. But still, this can be for more 5 years, because the vehicle, those who are 5 year old, also may get stolen, and that going to be for the as a validity 10 to 15 years, considering diesel and the petrol. So the vehicle, those who are registered in particular 5 year back, they still have the 5 year or 10 year backlog. So that key might come for the verification, but we have to think after the 5 years. So as I told, you have to make the plan for 1 year, 3 year, and 5 years. So it's very important that even when we started that quiz, we got a good response. So we uploaded all our quiz till 25. So you can see on our website, you will find all quizzes till December 2025. So that is a goal you have to be set for whatever the things you want to achieve. And believe me, every sectors you see, airlines, aviations, every places your services are required. Only you have to go over there. These are the places where I have provided the services, either you supermarkets, telecommunication, political organization, judiciary, market research, government relations, health and fitness, all these people, even in military, they all require our services. Only we have to reach over there, because they only still the people once you have the good impression on the Google, only they will find it out. But personally you can contact them, personally you can service them. So this is the one very, very important things. Beyond this we have discussed the forensic science thing. So here we require to have the forensic services, all kind of forensic testing. So does anyone have any questions? So apart from the forensic science, I'm going to discuss the help of the forensic, but not in the forensic, not for the court of law. Till now we have discussed the services and the entrepreneurship scope in the court of law. After that, if there is no court of law, what you can more do into forensic science? So anyone have any questions till now? If any questions you have, else we'll go for the 2 steps is there. One is this one is scope beyond the forensic science, and second we have the job roles, which kind of job roles you can find into the in the current scenario of our Indian current corporate scenario, where you can, after completion of a master's, which kind of job you will get. So no question? Okay. So sir, by what time I have to finish this session? Sir, you are muted, sir.
Ranjit sir, we can stretch up to 5 and 5:15, no problem.
Okay, sir. I'll complete by 5:15 or 5 o'clock. So beyond the forensic science laboratory, there is in the COVID 2021, we have got the chance to work into the called cinematography. So forensic cinematography is the one parameter which is very much required. And yesterday, even we have invited the producer of the forensic movie, director of forensic movie, Vishal Furia, who directed the Criminal Justice. We invited Dr. Salunke, Vindu Dara Singh. So all these people, they, even those who are present yesterday, or you can watch on the YouTube, they all say that we require the forensic consultancy. We are required the more forensic people into the industry. Even the CID season 2, we discussed that we are going to start the CID season 2. We are going to start the similar kind of episode like forensic files. So here is the one scope, which is forensic cinematography, where you can provide the forensic adds to the Bollywood and to the cinema industry. In the script consultancy, in the art, design, equipment, and on the shoot location presence of the guidance. So in the script consultancy, you can elaborate the fact which is relevant with the story plots, those who can find it out, the proper scientific ideas, their scientific justifications, and connecting a dot to the story is one very, very important things which we can do. Then once the forensic scenes is created into, nowadays you have seen that many movies or many series or many web series, they are coming where they're discussing about the forensic science. So we did for many other, like we are working for few Netflix series. We have done for the 2 movie called Forensic and Kathputli. So where we have given the forensic consultancy, and still we are doing 7-8 project with the Netflix for providing the script consultancy. And in this, we require to propose the frequency of crime scene, because we are making the things for the entertainment. So in scientific things, we can go for the entertainment purpose as well. So the maintaining the day and night crime scene. Then, because we all have faced the cross-examination during your Viva. That is a kind of cross-examination. Once you become expert, you'll face the cross-examination. And similarly, once you go into this field of forensic cinematography, you will find lots of question answers where logical explanations of a story plot is required. Then principle behind scientific methodology. If you are saying something, either the scientific principle is there or not. Then categorization of idea and the notion with the explanations of the implementation of the idea is required. Then justifying that particular suggested scientific ideas into the real report, into the expert opinion, how the report looks, how the proper findings or the tables, either in the VFX, you can render the legal ads. You can suggest the link between the scene and connected the story plots. So there are lots of question answer you have to you can answer, and these people, they require lots of services. Once you are good in designing an art, so creating that particular prop, dummies, crime scene, laboratories, equipments, how the body language of expert and costume appearance, all these kind of things are required. And in this, you can provide the consultancy with the scientific equipments by sourcing the reliable equipments. by briefing about the working and that principle of the equipment, how that in the movie forensic, we use the FARO technology, we use the 3D scanner, 3D printer. So all these new technology, you can give their tutorials and so that they can properly make the particular dialogue. And on suit location, you can go and you can find it out the presence by the expert body languages. What are the documentation required into the crime scene? What are the suggested protocols of the forensic team? Because if the forensic officer reaching at the scene of crime and he is not properly, with a proper costume, so ultimately at the end of the day, people will not going to get the awareness, because entertainment and awareness is the two parameters for which we require to go into the Bollywood. And in this, you can arrange the lab visit. You can see that how lab visit work overall. Forensic laboratory, you can discuss about the ethics, justifying the statement and the scientific and other things. You can easily find it out into that particular forensic guidance and their experiences. But apart from this, if you do not want to guess again the second kind of entrepreneurship, you can go for the job roles. And job role as a private forensic professionals are having an expert witness. You have the cybersecurity professional, you can go for the cyber auditor, you can go for the risk assessor, fraud control officer, grievance officer, and many more. So these are few roles and responsibility being in a security professional required to protect the infrastructure, and few certification like CEH and CCSP, CISA, CompTIA, Security Plus. These are required, and few companies like these are hiring the cybersecurity professional on a very high demand. And I'll share these all kind of certification name and the job roles with the Ravi sir, and sir can share with you all. So forensic auditor is the one nowadays very, very important things. Once this cyber attack is happening, or there is lots more compliances come by the government for the corporate governance, either the corporate is following up all the things or not. So the government asks lots of things nowadays. So for that, they require the auditor. So auditor can find it out all these kind of things. And for that, there is some certification from where you can learn the forensic auditing, and the companies almost all Big Four they are hiring, and 100+ forensic students they are working in these companies, those who have done the master in the forensic science. So KPMG, Deloitte, E&Y. So these are the PwC, all these companies, they are hiring the people from the forensic science background. They require, because we have the capability of understanding the investigative mind. So that's why with this certification they require. Then risk assessor in the almost all insurance company, they require life and general insurance company, they require the risk assessor. And Accenture's, Genpact, these are the company also financial risk manager they are hiring nowadays. So fraud control officers, these again, what are the fraud controls measures you can take, identifying the fraud, because nowadays fake document is coming to the fake death certificate, fake photograph is coming. So you being a forensic individual, you can find it out all these parameters, and you can easily find it out all these things. So all these things, for that you require to have some certification for the fraud control officer. So these are the things required. And almost all the general and life insurance companies, they are taking care of these things. So this is the one very, very important things, which is which have a lot more scope. And this fraud control officers, they have the scope at every district level. So all the district levels, we have these kind of officers required. So it's not required only to you're going to get the job in Delhi, Mumbai, or the metro city. For that, you can get the job in your local city as well, because they every district they have that life and general insurance fraud control units. So from there, you can, by having the certification, you can go over there. Then forensic analyst is again required by many government agencies and the private agencies for the analyzing the tools, by the tools, whatever the data recovery and other things. So these are the things. And the attorney, after the bachelor or the master, if you want to go for, pursuing your LLB, after pursuing your LLB, you can become a very good forensic attorney, and you can go for the cross-examination in the trial cases. And few companies are also hiring, like IBM recently hired 17 people, those who are having the forensic background for their legal team. Even in Cadila, they also hired the few people from the forensic background. So these are the things required. So that is all from my side. Now I am open for all kind of questions. Whatever the questions you have, you can connect me on any social media for any kind of future help or guidance, if you need any kind of guidance from creating an organization, registering to other things, now I am open for a question. And before that, I again thank you, Ravi sir and MIT University, for inviting me and giving me opportunity to discuss with such a great audience. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone.
So dear students, any of your curiosity on your entrepreneurship, or the last, the last 5 minutes of Ranjit Singh sir's presentation was really mind-boggling. That gives you an entire account of the certification process through which you can empower yourself. That's very, very important. So in that arena, if you have any questions, Ranjit sir will be too happy to answer. Or you can type your questions, we'll see that and answer.
Anyone, please type your question.
Ranjit sir, one question from my side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How costly these certifications are, number one, and number two, are they available in offline or online mode?
Sir, these certifications depend upon which certification you are going to take. Starting from CEH, CHFI, if we say, or CompTIA, all certifications start from 7,000 to 8,000, and it goes up to 1 lakh. So maximum. And it depends upon from which institute you are taking. If same CEH you are taking from any other institute, it costs 25,000 to 30,000. But the same you are going to take from the COING, it costs 1 lakh rupees, because they are giving the some more proficiency level. They have more accurate virtual lab. So it's online and offline, both mode it is available. So I always recommend to go for the good institutions from where you have the good alumni. So alumni can help you in the two way. One, the imparting the knowledge, and second, they will help you in the getting the placement into particular organization, because you are from that particular organization, and they know that if you are coming with a certification from such institutions, you must have attended some kind of clarity about the subject, so they will be very happy to take you in your team. Hope I have answered your query, sir.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Chintan, you have any question?
No, sir. No, sir. I was totally agree with what sir was saying for the prices of CHF and CH. Usually, like CHFI, we can do between 30 to 40,000. They're usually taking this. But students, they feel like this is also gonna be like very much more amount for them to pay for a CHFI. But I guess they were not getting the exposure of what they can earn after getting that particular CHFI course. And I guess sir was dictating a very well-mannered presentation and lecture on how one can stand up his or own company as a startup and can do further improvement in the forensics. Thank you so much for the lecture, sir.
Thank you so much, Chintan.
I don't think so we have any further questions, sir. So I guess we can end the session now. So
Okay.
on the behalf, on the behalf of entire Institute of Forensic Science, as a student coordinator of value added course, I am glad to express my vote of thanks. A special thanks to our eminent speaker, Dr. Ranjit Singh, and our previous Dr. Omveer Singh, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your thoughts has really inspired us, and the session were really very insightful and interesting. At last, I would like to thank the organizing team member and the technical team for AAUP. Good evening, have a good day. We will be joining tomorrow at the same time with a new technical plenary session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ranjit sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Bye, sir.